I'm the champion. I got 4 of the heavyweight titles around my waist. And if he's serious and he wants to fight, as I said, I'm willing. So I don't know where all this ducking and dodging stories come from.
I mean, it wasn't a few words, you know. I dapped it up with him and I said, now let's get it on. And it was simple as that.
Is that the fight you want next, Deontay?
I'm ready for whoever, you know. It's whoever. As long as these guys is in the heavyweight division, I'm here. You know, like I said, you can call me Mr. Clean because I want to clean up the whole division.
Let's do it. Come on, Deontay.
Said, let's do it. I mean, AJ just sort of stared him ice cold, but he fight him, no problem.
Anthony Joshua drops a bombshell on Deontay Wilder. After a heated brawl and that intense confrontation, everything flipped in an instant. Anthony Joshua didn't back down. He accepted the fight offer from Deontay Wilder and sent a chilling warning. He's not here to negotiate. He's here to dominate and destroy. This isn't just promotion anymore. This is a war brewing.
Want Deontay Wilder?
I think it's simple. When I've listened to what he's been saying, that there does need to be one champion and one face. And we've both got an opportunity where I have no mandatories, he has no obligations. I'm more than willing.
Deontay Wilder is being called out with full force as Anthony Joshua shuts down all fantasy contract talk and makes it clear he only wants reality, money on the table, and no excuses from Deontay Wilder. AJ is pushing hard, demanding real negotiation, real terms, and real action. He's basically saying, stop talking and sign the deal if you're serious about fighting.
This time in Wembley Arena, you know, in front of 100,000 audience. So I'm very keen to make that fight, but no fantasy contracts, just reality. You know, bringing our worth to the table and bargaining and negotiating what we're worth and making this fight happen.
Duke McKenzie questions whether he should even be thinking about stepping in with Anthony Joshua, warning that Joshua is a big, meaty puncher with devastating power. Meanwhile, Deontay Wilder is reminded he's chasing a dangerous fight where one clean shot could end everything. McKenzie even suggests AJ might hit harder than Wilder himself.
They know that Deontay Wilder knows how to sell a fight, and he's already called out Joshua. That's a big, big fight. I mean, like I said, I'd love to see him walk away from the sport. Wilder, I'd like to see him say, you know what, I've had enough, but he's already got his eyes on the next one, potentially a fight with Joshua. It's not a good fight to take. It's not a good fight to take. Yeah, Joshua's a big, meaty guy. Joshua's right hand's like probably the hardest. He's probably the hardest punch in heavyweight right now for me. Personally, I think he hits harder than Wilder.
Carl Froch doesn't hold back as he breaks down the brutal reality of a potential clash between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. He warns it all comes down to one moment. If Wilder lands clean, it's lights out for AJ. But if Joshua controls distance and boxes smart, he dominates. Froch paints this as pure danger where one punch can completely erase the other.
What happens in that fight? Anthony Joshua in one corner, Deontay Wilder in the other corner, they come together in the centre of the ring. What happens? I honestly can't say what happens. I think if Deontay Wilder throws a couple of meaningful right hands and connects on AJ's chin, then the fight's over. AJ will be knocked out. He's got to fight confident in that fight. He's got to get behind the jab, he's got to put shots together. And Wilder looks like he still can tee up and load up with that right uppercut and that right hand. And if he connects...
Johnny Nelson completely dismisses the hype around Deontay Wilder, claiming his legendary TNT power is gone and he's not the same fighter anymore. He even pushes back against Carl Froch's warning, saying people are overreacting. According to Nelson, Wilder no longer has that explosive weapon to trouble someone like Anthony Joshua, suggesting the fear factor is fading fast from his game.
Wilder's TNT is gone. Wilder's that punch is gone. He couldn't even let it go. He's just gone. So I don't believe that. I think Carl might be setting the cat amongst the pigeon, but I don't believe.
Deontay Wilder comes in firing as he brushes off the drama and makes it clear he's ready for anyone in the heavyweight division, especially calling out Mr. Clean Energy, as he claims he wants to clean up the whole division. There's no hesitation in his voice, just pure confidence, but the message is loud for Anthony Joshua too. Wilder is basically saying he's next and fully locked in for war.
It wasn't a few words, you know. I dapped it up with him and I said, now let's get it on. And it was simple as that.
Is that the fight you want next, Deontay?
I'm ready for whoever, you know. It's whoever. As long as these guys is in the heavyweight division, I'm here. You know, like I said, you can call me Mr. Clean because I want to clean up the whole division. The heavyweight division is nothing without Deontay Wilder.
The Frank Smith makes it clear that everything in the heavyweight division is now revolving around Anthony Joshua. He's the hot ticket, the name everyone wants, including Deontay Wilder. Behind the scenes, negotiations are active and decisions are being made on Joshua's return, Rose. This isn't just talk anymore, it's business, shaping a potential mega fight that could shake the entire heavyweight landscape.
It's all eyes on getting AJ whatever works best for him, whatever the right route back is for him. There's discussions ongoing. AJ's the hot ticket. You know, everyone wants to fight Anthony Joshua. So let's see.
Eddie Hearn adds fuel to the fire, as Anthony Joshua is described as ice cold, locked in, and fully willing to face anyone who steps up, including Deontay Wilder. Hearn admits Joshua looked better in his recent outing, showing improvement and composure even against a tough opponent like Chisora. But when it comes to Wilder, the tone shifts slightly, with even Hearn saying he wasn't fully impressed, though still more positive than expected. This creates a mixed signal: Joshua improving, Wilder questioned, and a fight that suddenly feels more realistic than ever.
I thought he looked better. Listen, Chisora's not easy. Do you know what I mean? He's a tough man. He's not an easy guy to beat. I wasn't impressed with Wilder, but I was more impressed than I thought.
Counterpunch Boxing delivers a blunt verdict, claiming they simply do not see Deontay Wilder knocking out Anthony Joshua at this stage of his career. The analysis focuses on Wilder's declining jab and reduced consistency, suggesting he may only land one big shot if he's lucky. Meanwhile, Joshua is portrayed as the more complete and controlled fighter capable of handling danger over distance. It's not total dismissal of Wilder's power, but it strongly shifts the balance toward AJ, framing this potential clash as one-sided unless Wilder lands something special.
Knocking out Joshua, I just don't see it at this point. I don't see him. His jab is not good enough. He could possibly land one of those shots.
Johnny Nelson shuts down the hype, suggesting that a fight between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder now feels less like a prime showdown and more like two veterans past their peak. He questions whether there's real value in the matchup, implying it may not benefit either fighter anymore. While acknowledging Wilder's past achievements, Nelson stresses that recent performances change perception completely. The excitement is still there, but the respect comes with concern. This is no longer about legacy building, but survival and timing.
He wouldn't be doing himself any justice. There wouldn't be any benefit. I think Wilder's name had a few notes on it, and I think after that performance, even though Wilder's past performances, the past successes have given that leg up, I think now you just see two old guys fighting. And listen, I like both fighters, but I think I've got respect.
Adam Smith sums it up as pure chaos, as he describes the fight involving Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder as a full-scale war rather than a technical boxing match. He calls it madness, a street fight atmosphere where skill took a back seat to heart, pride, and survival. Both men are praised as warriors who gave fans 12 rounds of relentless action despite their age and staging careers. It wasn't polished, it wasn't perfect, but it delivered pure entertainment, leaving fans on their feet and the boxing world buzzing.
It was quite eventful. It was absolute madness. Crazy fight, fun fight. Fans loved it. How do you dissect it? So much happened. I think you don't look at it as any technical skills, and they're all warriors, aren't they? You look at it as what it was, a street fight, a war, two guys going for it, pride, showing great chins actually, resistance, resilience. At their ages and stages, they owe us nothing in the boxing world, and they dished up 12 rounds of that, which was fun for the fans.
Frank Warren breaks down the brutal finishing sequence with praise for Anthony Joshua, highlighting his toughness, patience, and ability to break an opponent down under pressure. He points out that Joshua absorbed heavy shots but never lost composure, slowly taking control of the fight. The key moment comes when AJ finally finds his timing and lands two perfectly placed shots described as absolutely phenomenal. Warren's tone makes it clear this wasn't luck, it was calculated destruction. And when you connect it to a potential clash with Deontay Wilder, it becomes even more dangerous because this version of Joshua is patient, precise, and waiting for the perfect moment to end the fight in an instant.
He took some really big shots, but he was very patient, he worked hard and broke him down, and when he got the opportunity to catch him clean, those two shots were phenomenal.
Kelly Sarolin describes the fight as exactly what fans expected and more, a pure shootout between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder that delivered chaos, intensity, and non-stop action. He emphasizes the electric atmosphere, especially in the final rounds where the crowd was completely locked in, creating a noise and energy that couldn't be ignored. According to him, the event lived up to every promise, a throwback war where both fighters left everything in the ring. It wasn't about perfect technique, it was about survival, pride, and entertainment, and that's what made it unforgettable. A fight that felt like boxing at its rawest and most dangerous level.
Which had everyone on their feet in the last round with an atmosphere that you couldn't cut through, and it was insane. It delivered. It delivered exactly what it said on the tin. We said it's going to be an unforgettable night. What a fight.
Deontay Wilder speaks with full confidence and emotion, brushing off criticism and claiming his dominance even after taking clean shots. He calls himself a king, insisting that the punches he absorbed meant nothing to him and only proved his resilience. Wilder frames the night as a comeback story, saying he needed time to heal but is now back stronger and ready to improve with every fight. There's pride, defiance, and belief in his voice, showing he still sees himself as a major force in the division. But when you connect this mindset to a potential clash with Anthony Joshua, it sets up a dangerous narrative. Confidence on one side, precision and power on the other.
But, you know, it wasn't nothing to a king. You know, I'm a king. And I showed that tonight. The punches I absorbed, and I came back. It's all about having fun. I had to heal. You know, it took a long time for me to heal, but I'm back. And I'm going to get better and better each and every time. You know, and man, what a fun night.
Fabio gives a raw, honest breakdown of the chaos involving Deontay Wilder, describing the fight as messy, unpredictable, and full of momentum swings from start to finish. He highlights knockdowns, point deductions, and constant shifts that made scoring extremely difficult. Even he admits it could have gone either way, with rounds so close that judges' decisions felt like the only possible outcome. Fabio even leans slightly toward Wilder, edging a round or two, showing how tight and chaotic the contest really was. When you connect this to a potential showdown with Anthony Joshua, it raises the stakes even higher because fights like this prove Wilder is still dangerous and unpredictable with explosive moments.
It was everything you thought it was going to be. Entertaining, had its ebbs and flows, had its ups and downs, it had its moments. It did have all of those pieces. So yeah, look, it was a good little scrap.
Adam doesn't hold back as he breaks down the dominance of Anthony Joshua, starting with explosive praise for his movement and sharp footwork that kept everything under control. He highlights how AJ's jabs set the rhythm early, controlling distance and breaking his opponent's timing completely. The body shot stood out as a key weapon, repeatedly targeting openings and slowing the fight down in Joshua's favor. Then comes the finishing touch, the right hand over the top that completely breaks through and causes damage, leaving Derek unable to respond.
Jab was great, body shots particularly tonight, targeted, the right hand over the...
Liam Goff describes the early chaos caused by Deontay Wilder, explaining how pressure from Chisora pushed him back off balance and constantly on the ropes. He highlights how body shots started landing early, making Wilder visibly uncomfortable and forcing him into more clinches than usual. The fight quickly turned messy, with both men ending up in wild exchanges that were hard to control or predict. From the first round, it was clear this was not going to be a technical boxing match, but a pure war of survival and aggression. When you bring Anthony Joshua into this picture, it raises one question. Can Wilder handle that same pressure against an even bigger, more disciplined puncher?
Chisora was like bull rushing him like a bull in the china shop. It meant that Wilder was already backing himself up to the ropes even faster and even more off balance. And Chisora made a concerted effort to go to Wilder's body. He was letting some of those body shots go from very, very early on. And I did feel at times Wilder looked a little bit uncomfy. He was clinching a lot more than we're ever used to seeing him. But we were, from the first round, it was apparent we were in for a very wild fight and a fun fight, but a very messy fight at the same time. Because towards the back end of the first round, both guys ended up on the ropes, and it was weird. They nearly went like Royal Rumble style over the top rope.
Sean Zittel gives a brutally honest breakdown of two fighters in Deontay Wilder and Chisora, suggesting both may be past their prime, but still dangerous enough to produce a wild, entertaining war. He explains how the fight swung both ways, with Wilder landing the heavier, more damaging shots at key moments, while Chisora consistently outworked him over long stretches. That contrast is what made the scoring so difficult, ultimately justifying a split decision where the right man edged it. This kind of chaotic back-and-forth performance becomes important when you think about a future clash with Anthony Joshua, because it shows Wilder still has moments of real danger even if he's not consistent.
Fair, because this fight came down to
Wilder hurting Chisora multiple times, getting more leverage the times he was able to get off with his punches, but Chisora outworking him for stretches of the fight, for big portions of the fight, where he just burrowed his way in, bulled his way in, and got clubbing shots into the body. A lot of times, though, in this fight, Wilder would clinch Chisora once he got to the real estate he wanted to get into, which was his chest, and he got there very often, and he got Wilder on the ropes very often.
Carl Frampton delivers a balanced but emotional take on the performance of Deontay Wilder, admitting the fight was extremely hard to score due to its chaotic nature. He suggests Wilder may have done enough to win, but the bigger picture is respect for both fighters after a brutal contest. Frampton highlights how this could have been a perfect farewell moment for Duroc, but instead, it turned into another war that added to Wilder's legacy. He even calls Wilder an icon of the heavyweight division, recognizing his impact over the last 2 decades. When you bring Anthony Joshua into this discussion, it adds even more weight, because legends like this don't step into easy fights, they step into defining ones.